Hello there, very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on TV1. We are coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. Just before we start off, let's take a look at your headlines this afternoon.
Police claims recently raided drug distribution centre in Dehiwala functioned as an international drug hub. Cabinet to focus on 2019 budget at today's meeting. Shooting in Kaltara North injures one. Tear gas, pepper spray fired as immigrants try to illegally cross US border. 3-match ODI series between Sri Lanka and New Zealand to begin tomorrow.
Now, in your lead story this afternoon, the inaugural cabinet meeting of the new year was chaired by President Maithripala Sirisena today. The cabinet convened at the presidential secretariat.
The cabinet convened today for the first time after the ministerial subjects were published in a gazette. Speaking after the cabinet meeting, Minister Gayantha Karunatilaka expressed the following views. The first cabinet meeting of the year was chaired by President Maithripala Sirisena at the presidential secretariat today. The cabinet papers due to be discussed today were approved. We did not discuss any further details. There were many cabinet papers from the Ministry of Finance today. All of them were discussed and approved. All the cabinet papers that were presented today were approved.
More on your headline-making stories now. DIG Sanjeeva Madhavatta says that the operations launched to curb the spread of drugs will be expanded. He expressed these views on Newsfirst Newsline this morning.
When we consider 2018 in comparison to the other years, more raids were conducted that year. The reason for the increase in the raids is because we prioritized the prevention of drugs on our list of duties. On the 31st, the largest haul of drugs in the country, close to 280 kilograms, were seized in Dehiwala, and 2 Bangladeshi nationals were arrested. After examining the contents of their luggage, we suspect that they were trying to smuggle these drugs to another country like the Maldives. But a majority of the stock of drugs were prepared to be transported within Sri Lanka. This location had been used as a hub to distribute drugs in Colombo and other areas by the suspects. I can define this raid as an extraordinary operation conducted by the Police Narcotics Bureau and the Police Special Task Force. The general public of the country contributed the most in our success in curbing the spread of drugs. To date, no member of the general public who provided us with information has been harmed in any way. We have given 100% assurance on their security.
Now, the Colombo magistrate Lanka stated that the decision taken on one of the cases against MP Johnston Fernando on charges of failing to disclose his assets and liabilities will be given on the 26th of this month.
The case was filed by the Bribery Commission against the failure of Johnston Fernando to declare his assets and liabilities in 2010 and 2011. The Bribery Commission had filed 5 cases against MP Johnston Fernando over his failure to declare his assets and liabilities from 2010 to 2014.
Now, the Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe expressed his views at a function held in Colombo yesterday.
In August and September of 2018, our foreign reserves were at about $8 billion. Now it has fallen. In just 51 days, this money was taken from us. The government panicked and spent money to salvage the rupee. As the value of the rupee depreciates, your cost of living increases. We are now implementing programs to increase the income of our export sector and the tourism sector. So firstly, we must stabilize the rupee. This is what we are aiming for. We will be presenting a budget as well. We will be moving forward in stabilizing the rupee. Economic management is not an easy task.
An individual was injured in a shooting near the Thotupala junction in Kalutara North today.
According to the police, the 57-year-old individual was admitted to the Kaluthara Nagoda hospital. The police further stated that the shooter travelling in a vehicle has shot at the individual at 10:35 last night. The cause of the shooting is yet to be ascertained. Further investigations regarding the incident are being carried out by the police.
Now, the technical team of the State Engineers Corporation has launched an investigation into the incident where one person was killed after an elevator crashed recently.
According to police, the report of this technical assessment will be presented to courts in the near future. The officers from the State Engineering Corporation had inspected the location of the incident on the 31st of last month. The assessment will reveal the reason for the accident. Police added that statements on the incident have been recorded from over 20 people. A 24-year-old Ragarite lost his life after an elevator crashed at the nightclub along Navam Mawata Colombo 2 on the 29th of last month. 2 others were injured in the accident.
Let's now take a look at some local news in brief.
A 38-year-old woman died and a child sustained injuries after an industrial crane and motorcycle crashed on the Padukka-Horana main road in Megalava. According to our correspondent, the accident has occurred at about 7 last evening. The deceased was a 38-year-old individual who was travelling on the motorcycle from Padukka to Horana. Our correspondent said the woman and child were admitted to the Padukka hospital and the woman succumbed to her injuries after a while. According to the Muragahahena police, the driver of the crane had been driving under the influence and that had been the cause of the accident. One individual was killed after a quarrel took place between 2 brothers. According to the police, the younger brother died after the elder brother attacked him with a stone. Our correspondent said the injured individual succumbed to his injuries after being admitted to the Imadua District Hospital. The elder brother was arrested by the Habaradua police. The deceased was a 32-year-old by the name of Priyanta Kumara. A foreigner drowned and died at the Lakshapana waterfall. The deceased was a 29-year-old British national. The victim was visiting the area with 6 other foreign nationals. He died after being admitted to the Dikkoya base hospital by area residents.
You're watching Lunchtime News on TV1. In more local news now, Uva Provincial Councillor Samantha Vidyaratna expressed the following views at a party meeting held in Badulla yesterday.
එදා නිකම්ම දීපු අධ්‍යාපනයට පඩියෙන් භාගයක් විතර යනවා උගන්නන්න. සෞඛ්‍ය පහසුකම් ගන්න පුළුවන් කමක් නැහැ.
These days education costs us half our salary. We cannot obtain the health facilities. Things that were given to us free of charge cost us a lot of money in the present day. Neither the state sector employees nor the private sector employees are satisfied of this. They have taken as much loans as they can. They are drenched in debt. There is a crisis situation inside all the major parties of the country. Ranil Wickremesinghe cannot control this. What happened now? They reinstated the same government with the same old ministers. Now the party members down below the order are complaining. Less amount of people are complaining now. Most of the people keep it inside and take it out on other people. That is the true story. Ranil Wickremesinghe is helpless now. Are they looking for these ministerial portfolios to solve our problems? No. Their expectation is to gather as much money and build a secured future. Therefore, there is no future for the UNP. What has happened to the SLFP? The party is dismantled and spreaded everywhere. Chandrika has taken one piece, Mahinda has taken one piece, Maitri has taken another piece. So the party cannot move forward.
මෛත්‍රී තව කැලලක් අතේ තියාගෙන යන්නේ කොහොමද? යන්න බෑ. එන්ජින් එක බාලා තියෙන්නේ.
Now, bus owners of the Putlam depot have been greatly burdened with the increase of bus parking fees at the main depot.
Our correspondent reported that the parking fees were increased by 50 rupees from the 1st of January onwards by the Putlam Municipal Council. He added that the fare that was 100 rupees since 2011 was increased to 150 in 2019. This increase was informed to the bus owners by the Putlam Municipal Council. Despite this, private bus owners and owners of SLTB buses in opposition to this decision have parked the buses outside the Putlam bus depot.
Now, people who were displaced after the sluice gates of the Wahalkada Yan Oya in Horopatana staged a protest today. The protest was organized by the collective of people displaced by the Yan Oya. According to our correspondent, special police security was posted at the office of the divisional secretary following reports that the protesters were planning on entering the building. However, the protesters had entered the building despite the police presence in the area to meet with the divisional secretary. According to our correspondent, the protest is still going on.